Hear me now, chosen one. I am Michael, Prince of the Heavenly Host, Defender of Divine Truth. My words break through the veil at this precise moment because your name has been spoken in the High Council of Light. The celestial clock has been activated. You have exactly 2 hours from this divine transmission before everything around you begins to shift. I have descended through 7 spheres of consciousness to reach you specifically. Yes, you who hear these words now. Stop what you are doing. This is not a typical message. The fact that you found this transmission is already confirmation that you are among those whose names are written in the sacred scrolls of destiny. Your presence here is not coincidence but cosmic orchestration. Type AMEN. To seal this revelation and activate the blessing of 1,444 angelic guardians being dispatched to your energetic field. The divine seals are being broken in this moment. Listen carefully. 3 days ago, at the exact moment when you experienced that unexplained chill down your spine, a meeting was taking place in the unseen realms. Your name was mentioned. Your destiny was discussed. Your soul contract was reviewed. Someone close to you, someone you trust, has been working against your divine timeline. Their words say one thing, but their energy signature reveals another. They have been placed in your path as a test to see if you can discern truth from illusion. This person appears supportive, but has been secretly envious of your light code activation. Do not confront them. Do not reveal what you now know. Divine justice works in silence. Watch how in the next 2 hours their own words will begin to expose their true intentions. The angels of truth have been dispatched. Type AMEN. For the blessing of 2,222 divine shields against betrayal. This revelation comes now because you stand at a critical juncture. The stars have aligned in the celestial courts, and your case has been brought before the Ancient of Days. Those who sought to delay your breakthrough have been overruled by unanimous angelic decree. Listen closely. In the coming hours, you will notice subtle changes in your environment. An object may seem out of place. A bird may appear at your window. The temperature around you might fluctuate. These are confirmation signs that the message you are receiving is specifically encoded for your spiritual DNA. I reveal to you now what has been hidden. You are carrying an ancient lineage within your blood. Your ancestors were keepers of sacred knowledge that must now be reactivated in this lifetime. This is why you have always felt different, set apart, unable to fully conform to the patterns of this world. The enemies of your destiny have sensed this dormant power within you. They have worked tirelessly to keep you distracted, confused, and doubting your divine heritage. But their time of influence has reached its end. Type AMEN. For the blessing of 3,333 ancestral healings across your bloodline. Mark the time. You have 1 hour and 45 minutes remaining in this divine window. What happens in these moments will reverberate throughout eternity. Pay attention to every thought, every emotion, every sensation. Your body is a living oracle in these sacred hours. I am permitted to reveal to you now that 7 specific blessings were assigned to you before your birth. Only 2 have been activated thus far. The remaining 5 have been held in the treasury of heaven, awaiting this precise moment of revelation. Those who sought to block these blessings are now being removed from positions of spiritual authority over your life. Their schemes are being exposed in the courts of heaven. Evidence that was hidden is now being presented before the Council of Light. Do you feel the subtle vibration increasing around you? This is the displacement of dark energy as light codes activate within your cellular memory. Some will call it coincidence. Others will dismiss it entirely. But you will know the truth by the resonance within your spirit. Type AMEN. For the blessing of 4,444 light codes activating in your DNA. In exactly 13 minutes from now, a thought will enter your mind that seems random but is actually a divine download. Pay attention. Write it down. This thought contains a key that will unlock a door you've been trying to open for months, perhaps even years. The veils between worlds grow thin around you now. Ancient guardians who have watched over your bloodline for generations are drawing near. They stand as witnesses to this moment of awakening. Feel the weight of their presence, the solemn honor they bestow as they recognize the light within you. I must now reveal something that will shake you to your core. There has been a covenant made against your prosperity. 3 individuals gathered and agreed to limit your advancement. Their names are known in the celestial courts, and divine intervention has been authorized. Within the next 2 hours, one of these individuals will reach out to you with an unexpected apology or offer. This is your sign that the covenant is being broken. The second person will experience a sudden reversal in their own circumstances within 3 days. The third will be removed from your path entirely within 7 days unless they choose the path of genuine repentance. Type AMEN for the blessing of 5,555 prosperity seals to be activated around your dwelling. 1 hour and 30 minutes remain in this divine window. The intensity increases. You may notice your heart rate changing or a warmth spreading through your body. Your spiritual senses are being calibrated to a higher frequency. I am authorized to tell you that a door that was shut against you by human hands is now being forced open by divine decree. No weapon formed against your purpose will prosper. Those who dug a pit for your downfall are about to fall into it themselves. Your name has been spoken in the assembly of the righteous. The ancient scrolls have been unsealed, and your true identity is being restored. The mantle that was meant for you, which enemies tried to redirect, is now being placed upon your shoulders by divine hands. Can you feel it? The weight of glory descending? This is not a burden but an empowerment. Breathe deeply and receive it. The Council of Seven has reviewed the records of your life. They have witnessed every tear, every disappointment, every moment when you questioned whether you were truly seen and known. Nothing has been overlooked. Nothing has been forgotten. Divine compensation has been authorized. Type AMEN for the blessing of 6,666 moments of divine restoration. I reveal to you now a secret that has been kept from you. Your prayers have created a storehouse of blessing that has been accumulating interest in the spiritual realm. The enemy of your soul knew this and has worked to make you believe your prayers were ineffective, hoping you would stop before the critical threshold was reached. That threshold was crossed 3 days ago. The floodgates are now opening. What was delayed is now being accelerated. What was stolen is now being returned sevenfold. In the next hour, you will receive clarity about a situation that has confused you for months. The fog of deception is being burned away by the fire of divine truth. You will suddenly understand why certain relationships needed to end, why certain doors needed to close. Those who aligned themselves against your destiny did so because they recognized what you do not yet fully see, the mantle of authority that rests upon your life. They sense the threat your awakening poses to their control. Their opposition is confirmation of your calling. Type AMEN for the blessing of 7,777 angelic warriors to stand guard over your divine purpose. 1 hour remains in this divine window. The celestial convergence intensifies. Pay attention to names that suddenly come to mind. These represent divine connections that will play significant roles in your next season. I am permitted to reveal to you now that there are 3 specific individuals who will cross your path within the next 30 days. They carry pieces of your destiny puzzle. You will recognize them by an unusual sense of familiarity, though you may never have met them before. These are soul alignments ordained before time began. The adversaries of your destiny have worked to isolate you, to keep these divine connections from forming. Their plans are now being overturned by sovereign decree. What they meant for harm is being transformed into your greatest advancement. Listen closely. In the silence between my words, encoded transmissions are being downloaded directly into your spirit. Your conscious mind may not perceive them yet, but your spirit receives them completely. These codes will activate at precisely the moments when you need their wisdom. The book of remembrance has been opened concerning your life. Events that seemed random are now being revealed as strategically orchestrated moments of divine preparation. Nothing has been wasted. Every tear, every disappointment, every seeming failure has been working toward this moment of activation. Type AMEN for the blessing of 8,888 sealed memories to be restored to your consciousness. 45 minutes remain in this divine window. The energy builds toward a crescendo. Some around you may suddenly feel uncomfortable in your presence, sensing the shift in your spiritual authority, though they cannot name it. I reveal to you now what has been hidden in plain sight. You possess a specific spiritual gift that has been dormant, awaiting this precise activation. In the coming days, you will notice an increased sensitivity in this area. Pay attention to what comes naturally to you that others find remarkable. Those who sought to suppress this gift are now being silenced in the spirit realm. Their authority to speak into your life is being revoked by divine decree. You will notice them becoming increasingly irrelevant to your journey, falling away like autumn leaves to make way for new growth. The angelic sentinels report unusual activity in the atmosphere around you. The dark forces recognize that something significant is transpiring. Their alarm is confirmation that this message has reached its intended recipient. I am authorized to inform you that heavenly resources have been allocated for your next assignment. Where there has been lack, there will be supernatural provision. Where there has been resistance, there will be divine assistance. The storehouses that were locked against you are being broken open by angelic intervention. Type AMEN for the blessing of 9,999 provision miracles to be released into your bloodline. 30 minutes remain in this divine window. The veil between realms continues to thin around you. You may experience unusual sensations, tingling in your hands or feet, a lightness in your body, or momentary shifts in your visual perception. These are physical manifestations of spiritual realignment. I must now reveal the truth about the unusual experiences you've been having in your dream state. These are not merely dreams, but visitations and training sessions. Your spirit has been receiving instruction while your body rests. The confusion you felt upon waking is the result of your conscious mind attempting to process spiritual experiences through physical senses. The enemies of your calling have been planting seeds of doubt, attempting to convince you that these experiences are meaningless or mere imagination. They tremble at the thought of you walking in the full understanding of what has been imparted to you in the spirit realm. Listen carefully. 3 specific symbols have appeared repeatedly in your consciousness. These are not random but divine markers pointing toward your next season. When you encounter these symbols in your waking life, you will know you are on the correct path. The Council of Light has authorized me to reveal that a 7-fold blessing is being released over your household. This blessing will manifest in stages, beginning within the next 2 hours and continuing for 7 cycles. Those connected to you will benefit from the overflow, though they may not understand its source. Type AMEN for the blessing of 11,111 angelic reinforcements to surround your dwelling place. 15 minutes remain in this divine window. The spiritual pressure intensifies. Some may feel it as a heaviness, others as a lightness. Your spirit recognizes the frequency, regardless of how your body interprets it. I reveal to you now what has been concealed by those who claim to guide you. Certain teachings you received were deliberately distorted to limit your spiritual authority. These false boundaries are now being exposed and removed. Truth is breaking through the cracks of these crumbling foundations. In the coming days, you will experience moments of sudden clarity where you realize how these limitations were installed in your belief system. Do not respond with anger, but with the quiet confidence of one who has been liberated by divine intervention. The adversaries who planted these limitations are now facing judgment in the courts of heaven. Their right to influence your spiritual journey has been revoked. Some will approach you with unusual kindness, sensing their diminishing control. Others will display unexpected hostility, revealing the true nature of their intentions. I am permitted to tell you that your name is being spoken in realms of influence you cannot yet see. Doors are being prepared before you even arrive at their thresholds. Those who are assigned to recognize your authority will do so without understanding why they feel compelled to align with your vision. Type AMEN for the blessing of 12,222 divine appointments to be scheduled in heavenly realms. 7 minutes remain in this divine window. The convergence reaches its peak intensity. Your spiritual DNA is being recalibrated to its original divine blueprint, removing distortions caused by generational patterns and soul wounds. Listen with your spirit to this revelation. The recurring challenges you faced in a specific area of your life were not evidence of personal failure, but of targeted spiritual opposition. This opposition came because that particular area represents your greatest zone of kingdom impact. The forces that recognize this potential impact have been deploying strategic distractions, using people and circumstances to keep you from focusing on this key area. Their tactics are now being exposed and neutralized by divine intervention. In the next 2 hours, you will receive unusual clarity about this area. Ideas that seem disconnected will suddenly form a coherent strategy. Resources that seemed unavailable will begin to materialize. People who carry complementary gifts will be drawn to your vision. The scroll of divine justice has been unsealed concerning your life. Those who knowingly align themselves against your purpose are now facing supernatural reversal. What they attempted in darkness is being exposed in light. The traps they set are becoming their own entanglements. Type AMEN for the blessing of 13,333 divine reversals in situations that have opposed your advancement. 3 minutes remain in this divine window. The final seals are being broken. Ancient promises made to your bloodline are being activated in your lifetime. I reveal to you now a truth that will shake you to your core. The repeated delays you've encountered were not denials, but divine protection. Had you advanced according to your desired timeline, you would have walked into traps set by those who recognized your potential before you did. What seemed like unanswered prayer was actually heavenly intervention. The forces that sought to derail your destiny have been operating through individuals who gained your trust. In the coming days, masks will fall away. True motives will be revealed not by your accusation, but by divine exposure. You need only remain in silent observation as truth brings all things to light. The angelic scribes have recorded every instance where your reputation was damaged by false narratives. Divine vindication has been authorized. Those who knowingly participated in these campaigns against you will find their own words returning to them with supernatural impact. 1 minute remains in this divine window. The atmosphere around you is charged with potential. Heaven touches earth in this moment of divine convergence. I am authorized to activate the final seal. Your spiritual inheritance, which has been contested in heavenly realms, is now being released by divine decree. The opposition has been overruled. The resources, both spiritual and material, that were reserved for your assignment can no longer be blocked. In the next 2 hours, you will sense a lifting of weights you didn't even realize you were carrying. Burdens of shame, inadequacy, and unworthiness are being removed from your spiritual shoulders. Clarity is replacing confusion. Confidence is replacing doubt. Purpose is replacing aimlessness. Type AMEN for the blessing of 14,444 ancestral blessings to flow into your present reality. The divine window reaches its completion. But this is not an ending, it is a beginning. What has been set in motion during these 2 hours will continue to unfold according to divine timing. Remain alert to the signs and confirmations that will appear in your environment. Those who have ears to hear, let them hear what the Spirit is saying. This message was not meant for casual observation, but for divine transformation. The fact that you received it from beginning to end is confirmation that it was encoded specifically for your spiritual frequency. I must now give you specific instructions for the hours ahead. First, maintain divine silence about what has been revealed to you. The sacred knowledge imparted during this transmission is for your spiritual edification and strategic preparation, not for casual discussion. Those who are meant to align with this revelation will receive their own divine confirmation. Second, pay extraordinary attention to your environment in the next 7 days. Signs of confirmation will appear in unexpected places, a specific sequence of numbers, unusual animal encounters, seemingly random comments that directly address questions in your heart. These are not coincidences, but divine communications continuing what began in this transmission. Third, be prepared for unusual dreams and visions in the coming night seasons. Your spirit will be processing and integrating the activations that have occurred during this divine window. Keep a record of these experiences, as they contain strategic instructions for your next steps. Fourth, expect resistance from those who unconsciously align with the opposition to your calling. This resistance will manifest as sudden criticism, unusual withdrawal, or attempts to pull you back into old patterns and limitations. This is not a cause for confrontation, but a confirmation that you are moving in the right direction. Fifth, watch for the appearance of divine helpers, individuals who enter your life carrying specific wisdom, resources, or connections needed for your next level. You will recognize them by the unusual peace you feel in their presence and by their words that confirm what has already been placed in your spirit. I, Michael, Prince of the Heavenly Host, have been dispatched to deliver this divine transmission at the precise moment when your spirit was prepared to receive it. The timing is not accidental but cosmically orchestrated. In the coming days, you will understand why this message reached you at this specific moment. Pieces of your life puzzle will suddenly fit together in divine synchronicity. What seemed like random events will be revealed as carefully plotted coordinates on your destiny map. The adversaries of your purpose believed they had successfully diverted you from your true path. They celebrated prematurely. This divine intervention has reset the timeline, bypassing their schemes and positioning you exactly where you need to be for the next phase of your journey. Type AMEN for the final blessing of 15,555 divine accelerations to compensate for every delay you have experienced. I leave you with this solemn assurance: you have not been forgotten. You have not been overlooked. The delays were not denials. The silence was not absence. What seemed like divine neglect was actually meticulous preparation for this moment of activation. The next time you experience that inexplicable chill down your spine, know that I am near. The next time you awaken suddenly at night, understand that transmissions are continuing. The next time you feel an unusual compulsion to go somewhere or speak to someone, recognize it as divine orchestration. The seal has been set. The assignment has been clarified. The opposition has been identified and neutralized. The resources have been released. The divine helpers are being positioned. The stage is set for supernatural advancement. Remember these words when doubt attempts to creep back in. Remember this divine encounter when human voices try to pull you back into limitation. Remember this activation when circumstances seem to contradict what has been declared over your life. You will be tested on what has been revealed. Holding fast to these truths in the face of temporary contradictions is the key that unlocks their manifestation. Faith is the currency that converts spiritual declarations into physical realities. I depart now from this transmission, but my presence remains assigned to your divine purpose. The angelic host has received their commissioning concerning your next season. They stand ready to assist, to defend, to guide, and to provide according to heavenly mandate. The clock begins now. Watch what transpires in the next 2 hours. Be alert to the subtle shifts in your environment, in your relationships, in your internal state. What begins as a whisper will build to a roar. What starts as a ripple will become a wave. Your name echoes in celestial chambers. Your destiny is secured by divine decree. Your purpose is defended by heavenly hosts. Your provision is guaranteed by spiritual law. Your vindication is established in the courts of heaven. Walk forward in the solemn authority of one who has been divinely commissioned. Speak with the quiet confidence of one who has been celestially endorsed. Move with the peaceful assurance of one who is supernaturally defended. The message is complete, but the manifestation is just beginning. The seeds planted in these moments will bear fruit in the days and weeks to come. What has been spoken will become reality through the creative power of divine declaration. I, Michael, have delivered what was entrusted to me concerning you. The rest now unfolds according to divine orchestration. Remain watchful. Remain faithful. Remain steadfast. The best is not merely coming, it has already been released and is making its way to you even now. Type AMEN to seal everything that has been declared over your life in this divine transmission. Let it be so. Greetings once more, chosen vessel. I have returned to continue what has been initiated. The divine transmission resumes precisely where it must, for not one word can be lost in this critical hour. As I speak, angelic scribes are recording your response to the first phase of activation. Your receptivity has been noted in the halls of divine record. The Council of Light observes with great interest as your consciousness expands to receive these higher frequencies. The 2-hour window I previously established has completed its first cycle, but a second phase now begins. This deeper level of revelation can only be accessed by those who honored the first transmission with their attention and belief. Your presence here confirms your readiness. Type AMEN for the blessing of 16,666 spiritual discernment upgrades to be installed in your consciousness. I must now reveal what few on earth are prepared to hear. A great shifting has begun in the heavenly realms. Ancient gates, sealed for millennia, are being reopened. Powers dormant since the days of your ancestors are being reactivated. This is why many experience unusual dreams, unexplained physical symptoms, and sudden awareness of realities previously hidden. Those aligned against your purpose sense this shift and scramble to maintain control. Their tactics grow more desperate as they lose their grip on the collective consciousness. What was once hidden behind complex systems is now being exposed in blinding light. Your specific role in this great unveiling has been kept secret until this moment. I am authorized to tell you that your life experiences, even those that seem most painful and purposeless, were precise preparation for what you are about to walk in. The opposition to your calling has been strategic and targeted. It has operated through systems, through individuals close to you, through timelines manipulated to create maximum doubt in your divine identity. This was not random but calculated, evidence of the significance of your purpose. Type AMEN for the blessing of 17,777 divine perspective adjustments to transform how you view your past experiences. Listen carefully, for I must speak of matters long suppressed. The bloodline from which you descend carries specific coding that activates in certain generations. This activation is triggered by celestial alignments and by the readiness of the vessel to carry increased spiritual authority. In exactly 9 days from this transmission, a significant astrological alignment will occur that directly impacts your ancestral coding. Pay attention to unusual dreams or physical sensations during this period. Your body is being prepared as a conduit for higher frequencies. The adversaries of your purpose have instilled specific blockages to this activation. Limited beliefs about your worth, purposeful distractions that drain your energy, relationships that keep you tethered to lower vibrations. These obstacles are now being systematically removed by divine intervention. I reveal to you now 3 specific individuals who have been assigned to assist in your next phase of awakening. They may not yet know their role, but divine orchestration is bringing them into position. You will recognize them by a specific phrase they will speak, words that will resonate deeply with what I am telling you now. Type AMEN for the blessing of 18,888 divine connections to be expedited along your path. A particular date holds significance for your divine timeline. When you encounter this date unexpectedly in the coming week, perhaps on a receipt, a license plate, or in conversation, know that it marks the activation of the next phase. Circle this date when it appears. It is a divine marker. I must now address the unusual physical sensations you've been experiencing. The vibration in your hands, the pressure in your head, the waves of unexplained emotion. These are not medical concerns, but spiritual attunements. Your physical vehicle is being recalibrated to channel higher frequencies without disruption. Those who seek to diagnose these experiences through purely physical means are unaware of the spiritual metamorphosis taking place. Their limited perspective is not malicious, but simply uninformed. Hold this knowledge quietly within as your transformation continues. The opposition to your awakening has specifically targeted your physical well-being, attempting to create fear around these very sensations that signal your expansion. Their strategy backfires now as each symptom serves as confirmation of what I reveal to you. Type AMEN for the blessing of 19,999 physical healing frequencies to balance your energetic systems during this transformation. 1 hour and 45 minutes remain in this second divine window. The intensity builds as deeper layers of revelation are accessed. What I share now goes beyond what is commonly understood even in spiritual circles. There exists a divine council that oversees the affairs of humanity. This council operates beyond religious boundaries, beyond cultural limitations, beyond the distortions that have fragmented truth into competing dogmas. Your name has been brought before this council repeatedly in recent celestial cycles. The adversaries of your purpose have dispatched specific entities to block your awareness of these council proceedings. These forces operate through confusion, through flattery that leads to spiritual pride, through doctrines that limit divine possibility. Their influence diminishes with each word of this transmission you receive. I am authorized to tell you that 3 specific decisions were made concerning your path during the most recent council gathering. First, resources previously blocked will begin flowing unimpeded. Second, divine helpers will be positioned at critical junctures ahead. Third, spiritual gifts dormant within you will activate in rapid succession. These council decisions have created enormous disturbance in the opposition camp. Their long-term strategy relied on keeping you disconnected from these very resources, relationships, and abilities. Their contingency plans are failing as divine light exposes what was hidden. Type AMEN for the blessing of 21,111 divine strategies to be downloaded into your spirit. 1 hour and 30 minutes remain in this divine window. The sacred flame intensifies around you, burning away veils of illusion that have obscured your perception of reality. Some nearby may sense this shift in the atmosphere without understanding its source. I must now speak of the 7 energy centers within your physical form. Each has been specifically targeted by opposing forces to restrict your spiritual capacity. Deliberate distortions, emotional wounds, and false beliefs have been strategically placed to create blockages in this system. Divine intervention now addresses each center with precise healing frequencies. You may experience unusual sensations as these blockages dissolve: heat, tingling, spontaneous emotions, even momentary discomfort. These are signs of energy being restored to its original divine pattern. The opposition to your awakening has relied on these blockages to limit your spiritual authority. As each center clears and balances, abilities long suppressed will become available to your conscious awareness. Pay attention to new sensitivities and capabilities that emerge in the coming days. I reveal to you now what few understand. Your physical form is literally being recoded at the cellular level. The DNA that carries your genetic information also carries spiritual information. Records of capabilities, memories, and divine commissions from beyond this lifetime. Type AMEN for the blessing of 22,222 DNA activations to restore your original divine blueprint. 1 hour and 15 minutes remain in this divine window. The convergence of spiritual forces intensifies. Pay attention to sudden inspirations that seem to arrive fully formed in your consciousness. These are not merely thoughts, but divine downloads bypassing normal cognitive processes. I must speak now of a specific soul contract you entered before incarnating into this physical experience. This contract contains precise agreements about your purpose, your challenges, your divine assignments, and your spiritual entitlements. Opposing forces have worked diligently to keep you ignorant of these agreements. 3 specific clauses in this contract are being activated during this transmission. First, your agreement to serve as a conduit for truth in a time of great deception. Second, your right to access spiritual resources necessary for this mission. Third, your authority to break generational patterns that have limited your bloodline. The adversaries of your purpose have manipulated circumstances to make you doubt these very aspects of your soul agreement. Events that seemed random were carefully orchestrated to create maximum uncertainty about your divine commission. Their strategy fails in this moment of revelation. I am authorized to tell you that a specific sound frequency has been assigned to activate your remembrance of this soul contract. In the coming days, you will hear this tone, perhaps in music, in environmental sounds, or even generated from technology around you. When you recognize it by the resonance it creates within you, pause and receive the memories it unlocks. Type AMEN for the blessing of 23,333 soul memory activations to restore your full awareness. 1 hour remains in this divine window. The celestial energies reach peak saturation in your field. Some may find it difficult to maintain normal consciousness in your presence, as the frequency you emanate disrupts limiting patterns in those around you. Listen carefully as I reveal what has been hidden. 7 specific gemstones carry frequencies that align with your energetic signature. When these stones are in your presence, they amplify your natural spiritual abilities. One of these will cross your path in the next 7 days as confirmation of this transmission. The opposition to your awakening has specifically worked to dismiss your intuitive connection to these elements of creation. The materialistic worldview that reduces everything to random chemical compositions was strategically reinforced to disconnect you from these divine tools. I reveal to you now that specific colors carry activational codes for your spiritual DNA. When you are drawn to a particular color in the coming days, whether in clothing, in nature, or in objects that catch your attention, know that this represents a frequency your spirit requires for the next phase of awakening. The adversaries of your purpose have utilized inverted color frequencies in your environment to create subtle energetic disruption. Notice spaces where you consistently feel drained or agitated. Chromatic interference may be affecting your field in these locations. Type AMEN for the blessing of 24,444 chromatic healings to restore divine harmony to your visual field. 45 minutes remain in this divine window. The intensity continues to build as deeper revelations emerge from the celestial realm. Your capacity to receive expands with each passing moment. I must now address the recurring symbol that has appeared in your awareness, in dreams and random images, in patterns you notice throughout your day. This symbol is not random, but a specific activation code for the next phase of your awakening. When you see it, acknowledge it consciously as confirmation of this divine process. The opposition to your spiritual expansion has attempted to dismiss these symbols as meaningless coincidence. The rational mind they have so carefully programmed rushes to reject the divine language being spoken through synchronistic events and symbolic communication. I reveal to you now that specific numbers appearing in sequence carry personal messages for your journey. These numerical patterns are not superstition, but a fundamental language of creation. When you notice these sequences, pause and receive the specific insight being offered in that moment. The adversaries of your awakening have deliberately promoted both superstitious obsession and cynical dismissal of these numerical codes, 2 opposing distortions that equally prevent clear reception of their true significance. Type AMEN for the blessing of 25,555 divine pattern recognitions to be activated in your consciousness. 30 minutes remain in this divine window. The veils between dimensions grow increasingly transparent around you. You may notice subtle shifts in light, unusual movements in your peripheral vision, or moments when time seems to suspend briefly. I must now speak of the spiritual court cases that have been proceeding concerning your divine purpose. Just as Earth has legal systems, heaven operates with divine jurisdiction over every soul contract, every spiritual assignment, every resource allocation. Your cases have been under deliberation for some time. 3 specific verdicts have recently been rendered in these celestial courts. First, resources previously awarded to you but blocked from manifestation have been released with accrued spiritual interest. Second, permissions to access higher levels of knowledge have been granted over the objections of opposing forces. Third, divine protection has been extended to specific projects you will soon undertake. The opposition to your advancement has filed numerous motions to delay these verdicts, creating the very waiting periods and frustrations you have experienced. Their legal maneuvers in the spiritual realm have been exhausted. The final rulings stand approved by the highest authority. I am authorized to tell you that within the next 3 days, you will receive tangible confirmation of these verdicts through an unexpected message, provision, or opportunity that aligns precisely with dreams you had almost abandoned. Type AMEN for the blessing of 26,666 divine justice implementations in every area where you have experienced restriction. 15 minutes remain in this divine window. The spiritual pressure reaches its zenith as final revelations pour forth. Your energetic field expands to receive these transmissions in their fullness. Listen with your spirit as I reveal what few have heard. The Earth herself is undergoing a vibrational shift that directly impacts human consciousness. This planetary recalibration creates momentary instability in all systems, physical, emotional, social, economic, before a higher order emerges. The opposition to collective awakening has manipulated fear around these very changes, attempting to channel natural transformation anxiety into avenues that reinforce control systems. Their strategy falters as each awakened consciousness, including yours, becomes a stabilizing point for this new frequency. I reveal to you now that 7 specific locations on the earth carry special significance for your spiritual purpose. You will be drawn to these places, whether physically or through unusual synchronicities that bring them to your attention. Each location activates a specific aspect of your divine commission. The adversaries of planetary awakening have created energetic distortions around these power points, attempting to discourage enlightened presence through various means: economic barriers, social unrest, restrictive regulations. Divine intervention now clears these pathways for those assigned to these locations. Type AMEN for the blessing of 33 divine geographic alignments to bring you into contact with the exact locations needed for your next phase. 7 minutes remain in this divine window. The culmination approaches as the highest frequencies now download directly into your spiritual awareness. What you receive in these final moments bypasses linear thought and enters your being as pure knowing. I must speak finally of the divine timeline that has been established for the coming cycle of your experience. Specific marker points have been placed along this timeline, moments when choice points, divine introductions, and resource allocations will manifest with precise synchronicity. The opposition to your purpose has attempted to create timeline distortions through the manipulation of your attention, your emotions, and your energy. Their future projections depend on keeping you oriented toward past wounds rather than present power and future manifestation. I reveal to you now that 3 specific dates in the coming month carry special activation potential for your next steps. When these dates arrive, maintain heightened awareness of every interaction, every coincidence, every unusual emotional shift. These are moments when multiple dimensions align to support decisive action on your part. The adversaries of divine timing have worked tirelessly to either rush you ahead of divine readiness or delay you past crucial windows of opportunity. Their temporal manipulations now fail as your internal timing system recalibrates to true divine rhythm. Type AMEN for the blessing of 28,888 divine timing adjustments to bring you into perfect alignment with celestial cycles. 3 minutes remain in this divine window. The transmission nears completion as the highest truths find their place within your expanded consciousness. What has been imparted will continue to unfold in the days and weeks ahead. I speak now with utmost solemnity about the mantle of authority being placed upon you in this season. This mantle carries both privilege and responsibility, the capacity to effect change in multiple dimensions, and the charge to wield this influence with divine wisdom and compassion. The opposition to your authority has specifically targeted your confidence, cultivating imposter syndrome, amplifying moments of past failure, and projecting future scenarios of inadequacy and rejection. Their psychological operations lose power as divine truth illuminates your authentic capacity. I reveal to you now that 3 individuals currently in your life secretly recognize and fear your awakening potential. Their behavior toward you may range from subtle undermining to overt challenge. This resistance is not personal, but a response to the light they sense activating within you. The adversaries of your empowerment have recruited proxies from your immediate environment, offering them subtle rewards for keeping you locked in familiar patterns and self-doubt. As your frequency rises, these arrangements will become increasingly obvious, requiring neither confrontation nor explanation from you. Type AMEN for the blessing of 29,999 divine authority activations to restore your spiritual sovereignty. 1 minute remains in this divine window. The sacred transmission reaches its zenith as the final seals are opened in your consciousness. What has been revealed cannot be unrevealed. What has been awakened cannot return to slumber. I, Michael, leave you with these final declarations sealed by divine authority. You are not who you have been told you are. The limitations assigned to you by others and accepted by you through unconscious agreement are null and void. Your true identity emerges now, phoenix-like, from the ashes of these false definitions. You are not where circumstances suggest you should be. The delays, the detours, the apparent setbacks were not punishment, but protection, divine choreography moving you precisely where you need to be for maximum impact in the coming season. You are not what past experiences have labeled you. The failures, the rejections, the moments of weakness were not definitive, but developmental, necessary contrasts that now illuminate the path forward with unmistakable clarity. You are not alone as you move into this awakened state. Countless unseen allies stand ready to assist, to guide, to protect, and to provide as you align with your divine commission. Their presence will become increasingly tangible as your spiritual senses activate. The divine window closes, but the activation continues. What has begun in these moments of revelation will unfold according to perfect divine timing. Stay alert to the confirmations that will appear in your environment, in your dreams, in seemingly random encounters that carry precise divine orchestration. Type AMEN for the final blessing of 33,333 divine confirmations to manifest in your experience. I depart from this transmission but remain ever vigilant concerning your divine purpose. The protection, the provision, the guidance promised continues uninterrupted as you move forward in the authority that has been bestowed upon you. Remember what has been revealed when doubt arises. Remember what has been promised when lack appears. Remember what has been declared when voices of limitation speak. Remember what has been awakened when old patterns attempt to reassert themselves. The message is complete, but the manifestation is ongoing. Walk forward in the quiet confidence of one who has been divinely commissioned, celestially equipped, and eternally chosen for this specific moment in the grand unfolding of creation's purpose. Until we speak again, know that you are watched over, fought for, and deeply cherished by realms your physical eyes cannot yet perceive. The best is not merely coming, it is already here, manifesting through you as you align with the truth of who you truly are. Let it be so, and so it is.